Assalamu alaikum. We are back with Sister Gulbahar, and we're going to be speaking to her about not only the situation in East Turkestan, we covered that last time, but actually about her life back here in Turkey. Now, if you guys remember, we interviewed her a few weeks ago, and she went to the camps. She was there for months, I think 15 months. She herself was raped. She witnessed many other female detainees facing sexual violence. Additional to that, nails being ripped out and all these sorts of horrific things that happen to our sisters, our Muslim sisters in East Turkestan. And the thing about this Chinese state is that they will not leave you alone even if you enter a new country like Turkey. So that's what we're going to interview her about. Arsalan, Jazakallah khair for joining. And firstly, thank her again for coming and actually speaking loudly about this topic, because this does require a lot of bravery and patience from her.
Deydi başlap sizge rahmet etime qayta bizge söhbet qatnashibsiz. Bunun nurgun cesaret, nurgun kuch kitudu, asan ish emas. Asasen bugungi temamiz o'kanda shu lager to'g'riliq azroq o'tib ketdik. Endi bugun kunlikda lagerdan qutulib o'tdingiz, bir yil yaqin Istanbulda yashayapsiz, lekin yanala Xitoyning ta'siri bo'lamdi, Xitoyning besimi bo'lamdi, mushadiki hayotingiz nagacha o'tyapti. Shu to'g'riliq gap qilmoqchisiz.
Hozir meshadim xatarlik o'tib bir 3 oydan keyin men guvohlik bergan vaqtda nimga namoyishga chiqqan vaqtda turklarni chaqirgan. Shu yoqda chiqiblar, bir oshxonaga kirgan vaqtda 3 soqchi aqamdan qo'g'ladi mashina bilan.
Bu qachongi vaqt?
U hozir 2019 ning oxirlari bu, mana kuzmaz 2025. Oshxonada tomoq yeymiz deb qirgan vaqtda shu 3 soqchi yomon meni surishtirib ketdi. Gulbahar Jalilova degan ekan, aqishdan qashlab qachiradi qizlar. Shundan keyin ash aqisi bilan bilmabdi. Men soqchida turk soqchilar deshga vaqtda psixikam buzilgan. Shu qochibdi, men aqamdan qarmashildi, qo'g'ladi. Tar ko'chaga kirib ketdim. Undan keyin men buni patpatlab bir nomeri chiqmaydigan bir telefon keldi. 5 yil bilmasdan alo deb aladim, teptish turdi. Hozir aniq nomerlar chiqsa olmaydigan bo'ldim. Hozirgacha qo'rqmayman. Hozirgacha kashqurliqlar mana taloq chiqmayman. Hech uydan taloq chiqmayman.
So not long after she came to Istanbul, she attended a demonstration where she spoke, and some ladies took her to a restaurant and they realized that they were being followed by Chinese agents.
Yeah.
Bular Uyghur dediniz değil mi? Lekin Uyghur deb qo'yildingizmi?
Uyg'urlar ashaqniki soqchilar ashaqniki kelgan.
So they were ethnically Uyghur, but they were Chinese agents. They worked for the state. And she had to leave. So these agents were following her, 3 agents. She had to leave via the back door. And she was essentially chased through the streets of Istanbul by a black vehicle. And so she fears, she's in fear every day, because you're not necessarily living in an open free world in Turkey. It's a little better. But she doesn't go out at night at all. And from time to time, she would get calls with no numbers on the screen. She would pick it up. No real voices on the other side, but now she doesn't pick up those numbers anymore, and she's in constant fear basically.
And this is part of the psychological warfare to stop her from speaking up. But the question I want to ask her is, where does she get the courage? Because she could just simply go back to a life of obscurity and be completely hidden from the state and the eyes of the state, but she's putting herself deliberately at risk. And she's out of the camp, so why is she doing this?
Siz bilsiz eğer xalan bolsanız, abi bizga tushuntirgandek, o'zingizning bir normal bir hayotıngiz bor, ham bor. Og'zingizni yumiblam, normal hayotıngizni yashab, baldingizni bir qiliblam ketaverdingiz. Bu jasorat nereden keladi? Nima uchun buni davom qilaverasiz deb bir savol so'radi.
Shu lagerda yotgan vaqtda shu yerda yosh qizlar amanat dedi. Yaş kızlar, hemizler Gulbahar'da, yabons Gulbahar'sızlık amanet muş kögen küllerini unutuqanman, muş zulümlarını, meşelim ölmeyi sağ çıksanız sizden dep amanetine degenlik hemen o amanetine yetkizimsen bolmaydı dep hem eşaktaki kızlar depte hem de jığlıman bu jığlap bu Xitaylarga közümüz işimiz gözetmeli. Maçtaq yerlerden muş zindam aslında ölsek şehit bolup gitmez. Allah bizni cennetke kırmız. Herkes ölüm. Ben ama bir gün ölümden korkmaş gerekti. Aşağıdan ölümden korkmaydigan bolup Kazakistan'a çıktım. Kazakistan'da 20 gün boldum. Bırak şu Kazakistan'da mı men aşı misal men tajavuz kıldı açık nersen kögendiken tuqqanlarımni ballarımga üzük qarashqan nomus qildim men. Men xudo gunohdek, meni bir gunoh bordek. Men keyin askan buni ham aşağıdaki ketsa, qizlar o'shidan ketib, urib akirgan qizlarni ko'rgandan aşı baqirgan qizlar qulog'imda ketmedi. Şu psixologiyam jiq buzildi. Hech kimni ko'rgim 20 kun Qozog'istonda. Men biletni men Türkiye'ye gitmedi, şu Türkiye'ye geldim. Müslüman devlet meni sitvetmeydi. Meyli sitvetsin, ben aşılarının amanatlarını yetkizmedi. Şu 20 günlük meşekip avazını çıkardı.
So she says, when she did finally get to leave the camps after 15 months, obviously we heard from her that she was never tried, charged, or with anything. She went to Kazakhstan. She was there for 20 days. But she didn't feel right, like she was with the kids, but she felt ashamed. And she said the stories and the people, the young girls that she spent her time with in the camps gave her a lot of courage because she was born and raised in Kazakhstan, and when she was put into the camps, she couldn't deal with it. She was always crying, and the young girls there, full of iman, they were saying, you know, don't cry, you're going to bring us down. How nice, or you know, how good would it be to die in this situation? We'll die with our iman, we'll become martyrs. So even those girls that were beaten and shattered, they talked with her like that, and then that gave her the courage. And when she was free in Kazakhstan, obviously she can't voice, she doesn't have the voice like she does now, and she felt that amana, their stories, the girls who are still in the camps, that their stories need to be told to the world. And so it's like something on her, like consciously she has to say it. She can't, if she wanted, she could give up this life and go back to Kazakhstan, and you know, she's got business and all, but she can't conscious wise.
And the thing is, you know, last time she was speaking, it was very emotional and difficult for her. She is helping other people who survive, like emotionally, psychologically. Even though she left the camp so long ago, she's reliving it every day, and she's doing it for the greater good. So that internal struggle, patience, and all those types of things, I just want to know, where does she get that strength from? Where is that? What's the driving thing? When is she going to stop? Because the Chinese government want her to stop, essentially. But when will she stop?
So just to go back a bit, so essentially the courageousness comes from those women who are still there, who are raped. But I'll basically go ask her, like, when
will you stop?
Yeah. Abay degende bu cesaret nimuz baki şu kızların apsız şu cesaret kızladın belki nurgunları şehit bolup ketkende o. Siz kaçan muşa davam kılıvatsız, kaçan toxtsiz, toxtashni o'yladingizmi? To'xtamamsiz degandek kaçan?
Men rastını etsem, men yaşam kemeydi. Meli.
Yo, hazırki yılqini muşu davani toxtashlarınız var?
Ahırgıca, yok. Hayatımın ahırgıca.
So she goes, until the rest of my life, until, basically if there's a need for it, and hopefully inshallah we don't expect, I mean we hope that this ends, but basically until it ends, or this, and it goes with her to the grave.
You know, it's amazing to see the courage. It's amazing to see the strength. You know, what would you expect the Muslims around the world who are watching this and they are seeing this and they feel helpless, right? How can they help? How can those Muslims help who are watching all of your stories and the stories of other Uyghurs?
Mesela dünyada nurgun Müslümanlar var. Lekin mesela nurgun Müslüman adetki Müslüman devletlerine emas, adetki Müslümanlar mesela kördü sizin hikayenizde, başkalarının hikayesini. Lekin bir xil qo'limdan bir ish kelmaydi go degandek ularning o adetki insanlar. Siz shularga qandaq gapingiz bor?
Şu bütün dünyadaki Müslümanlara birinci dua kılınlar. Şarkı Türkistan'daki kıyındaşlarımızga. İkinciden şu xat yazış gerek. Qayandaq bolsa namazga chiqish kerak, xat yozish kerak, YouTube, Facebook'la hemen yazış gerek aşağıdaki birinci bu kamplan yapsın. Erkinlik çıksın.
So she's saying, even ordinary Muslims that feel helpless, you know, you do your stuff online, go to demonstrations, write petitions, write letters. I mean, all of these things, you know, I'm adding on here. Like these are free things to do. So people can do this. Make dua. Obviously, that was the first thing that she said.
Yeah.
And then those practical measures, were writing petitions, letters to your leaders, MPs. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just any last message you'd like to give to the Muslims watching, something that can drive them to take action.
Şu Müslümanların yoki insanlarni harakat qilg'izdigan bir oxirgi gaplaringiz bormi?
Endi oxirgi gapim şu aşağıdaki Şarkı Türkistan'da qırğın boğatgan qarindaşlarımga iyi çıksın. Bizning Uyghur milletimizniki şu vatanimizni Xitoylar besib oldi. Şunu bizga yordam, Uyg'urlarga yordam qilsin. Butkul dunyoga ovozini chiqarsin.
So she's saying that they need to stand by the Uyghurs. China has been oppressing the Uyghurs for such a long time, and they really need to be the voice of the Uyghurs. Yeah, do everything they can.
Thank her for her time and her courage of speaking, and let her know that we will continue this mission until the oppression stops.
Rahmet sizga bugun qimmatli vaqtingizni ajratib berganingiz uchun. Biz mushu Uyg'urlar ozodlikqa chiqmoqcha biz bu da'volarimizni to'xtatmaymiz deb.
Sizlarga rahmat. Alloh rozi bo'lsin.